Happy
Happy
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hi, I'm Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. And here is my beautiful, lovely daughter, Hyacinth Henderson. She's the co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. We've been in service for over 30 years. We love what we do. We're a full-service financial planning firm. And today's show, we're going to talk about the power of magic words. Magic words, magic words. Hyacinth, why don't you introduce the people to tell them who you are for first-time visitors?
I think you did a phenomenal job. I have
Phenomenal.
nothing.
I like that word.
Can
Magic
you
word.
Can you believe that you've said it all?
Yeah. Yeah. You think it is?
I am
You get your bright yellow shirt against that melanin in your
beautiful
skin. Boy, I
dark
love
chocolate
that. Mickey
skin.
Mouse. You know what I mean?
Disneyland. Disneyland is different from Disney World.
Yeah, I know. I went to this probably like 30 years ago and hadn't been
Really?
back. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you believe my daughter went to Disney World today? I just got back from Disneyland and she went
And
to
she went to
Disney World. Yeah, she went
Wow.
last night.
She
She's
did?
there now.
Oh my God. How long is she going to be there?
She's coming back today.
She living her best life.
As she should be.
Then she going to Spain? Oh my,
Yeah,
she's going
yeah,
all
yeah.
over the place.
3
Anyway,
weeks. I can't believe it.
3 weeks. I haven't been
In
in 3
Spain.
weeks. Anyway. Okay, so we got a great show lined up for you today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have
And
a great
I was
show
torn
lined up
between
for you.
talking about the power of magic
Hey, look at
words. Oh, that is so nice.
Mhm.
The power of magic words. And maybe next Wednesday we'll talk about the power of gratitude.
Mhm.
Gratitude is really one of my favorite ones also, you know.
Yeah, I love it.
So the power of magic words. First of all, I want to start off to let people know that
Did you say that we're a full service financial planning firm? I don't think you said that.
I did say that. We're a full service financial planning firm. And
then, okay.
full service mean that we're just not investments. I mean, we talk to people about Medicare,
Real estate,
real estate,
mortgages.
social security
Mhm.
benefits, and should they take it now, 62, or should they wait till 67 or 65 or 70? We discuss with them real estate and real estate brokers
life
also.
insurance. Don't forget that's a big one.
Life insurance, but not just life insurance, death insurance, but life insurance that gives you living benefits while you're alive. You don't have to wait until you die to leave money to someone else, which is good, tax-free, but we like to use life insurance like a smartphone. In other words, we like to use life insurance not just for dying, but also for critical illness, chronic illness, long-term care, and we really like to use and leverage our dollars to pay off debt and also to buy other real estate with our life insurance. So there's a lot of things that we do with life insurance that most people never even imagine that you can do. So we deal with that, and we also discuss, if you should have a trust or a will or even a ladybird deed, what that is. So we mix it up pretty good. I got a client that's in Georgia, and he has some health issues, and we found a company that's like $139 a month.
Mhm.
They'll fly you. You can actually take a plane instead of driving.
Uh-huh.
They actually will come pick you up, put you on a plane, and take you to the hospital of your choice. And that's something take you to New York.
Oh wow,
It's an ambulance service.
it's amazing.
That's amazing. A lot of people don't know about
that's
that.
added value right there.
Yes, that's added value. That's when
That's
people come to
benefit.
us and just say investment. No, we're not just a investment. We look at holistically like an MRI on you. We look at you from head to toe to make sure if you get sick, hurt, and can't work, how you're going to pay your bills. Retirement planning, whether you should take a lump sum or you should take distribution, and tax planning is really important to us because it's not always how much you make, it's how much you keep. That's what really counts. And we really big on understanding the U.S. tax codes, and especially people that have businesses. We really can help you if you have a small business or even a large business or even mid-sized business. We'll tell you things that you didn't even know that you didn't even know. How you doing, Mario? Mario's a good guy. He's been with us for a while. He really has done very, very well. Mario, I hope you contact that attorney I told you about the living trust or putting stuff in your trust. If you're not, just shoot me an email or something, and we'll discuss it further. But today we want to talk about the power of words, magic words, because most people don't focus on what they say and what they believe. First of all, I want to start off by saying that there is, in all the world, there's only two things. One is truth, and the other one is falsehood. Now, what I mean by that, people, truth and falsehood, either the truth or it's a lie, and that really depends on how you see things, whether it's your truth or my truth or whatever. But in terms of reality, I'm gonna look at it like this. Let's discuss it like this. You have a thinking mind that sees,
Mm-hmm.
a thinking mind, and then you have a real mind. In other words, it just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is most of the time, Heisey, what gets in the way is your thinking mind and what it is, conflict.
I agree.
And that's the problem. And when you understand the difference between your biased thinking mind and what is, you begin to grow. You begin to get wisdom. In other words, let me explain it like this.
Explain the two minds, because I want to make sure I'm not conflating them into one.
The thinking mind.
Uh-huh.
See, the thinking mind is really a belief mind or a feeling mind. It has a lot of influence and a lot of power on what really is. What really is, and that's where you really should be focusing on what really is and influencing that mind. The thinking mind, if someone says a bear is behind you and you think and you get scared, it has so much control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the real mind really is really a comfortable mind, a peace mind. In other words, people say, Rob, how do you feel so good? Can't you see all the stuff that's going on in the world? Can you look at the news? That's the thinking mind, because you react to sensations. You react to this and that. And so many people are saying, the United States is going to hell. It's doom. The country's going to go down. That's the thinking mind. The real mind is, no, it just appears like that. My world is this. And I'm going to shape my world to do this. And I'm going to shape I don't really care who is the president, because my world says that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And you only have the power to do what you have the power to do. You waste a lot of time being sad about things that you have no power or control over.
Mm-hmm.
So the thinking mind is a sensational mind that really messes us up. You know what I mean? Like, it makes prejudice. That's a thinking mind.
Mm-hmm.
What is black better than white, or white better than Spanish, or Asian or whatever? That's a thinking mind. That's an influence mind. But when you just look at reality, what is, that's the really truth mind. It just is. When I realized that I'm 5'9", you like to argue. She like to say I'm 5'8" or something, 7. I don't know. She put me at 5'4".
I mean,
I'm at 5'9". Driver license say 5'9". I'm 5'9".
That's what you told them.
When I no, they got it. Come on,
okay. Back in the days, they semester,
yeah. So then, I'm 5'9". She's 5'9" also. And when I realized that I wasn't 7 feet tall, there was no reason for me to mope, get sad, or feel bad about it. That's the thinking mind for me to do that. When you actually come to realization, it is what it is, and live with that, a lot of stress comes off, and you can only change what you could change. And once you realize you can't change it, you should let it go. I'm pretty good with that. And people like to say, a lot of my family members like to say I suppress my emotions, but I really don't. I really look at what's real and the thinking mind, the influencing emotional mind. I really try to separate them. So the power of words is what you say and what you believe really, really matters. How you doing, Tara? Good afternoon. Okay, Heisey, your turn.
I'm trying to make sense. I understand that they're two minds, but I maybe the language, the titles that you're using for the two minds, the thinking mind and the real mind. And I'm trying to back out and not get caught up on the titles, because I agree with you 1000%. You're always right. You could never be wrong.
Right. I'm always right.
Always right. And so because you're always right, I do agree that there is a part of us that thinks, and then a part of our mind that thinks, and then there is a part of our mind that receives. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's quite obvious. Yes.
Okay. I know. I knew you were right. I mean, I could be the only one that was wrong. So it is obvious that you're right.
Obvious.
It's quite obvious. So what I'm saying, because I don't want to get caught up in words, but the way I see it, what I am translating is that the thinking mind operates based on what is seen. Are you saying that? Is that quite obvious?
That's true. That's quite
That's true.
obvious too.
Okay, got it. Bingo. We're in the same we're on the same
Yes.
team now. We're rocking and rolling now
Oh.
together. All right, now that we're rocking and rolling together, what I love this topic because I would like to add, and I would like everyone under the sound of our voices to know that your thinking mind is only regurgitating old information.
True.
Is that quite obvious too?
Quite obvious.
Quite obvious. Now, I love that. So you say that it's quite obvious, but that's something very profound that we should put on the table because the average person does not understand that. They believe that because they think it is true.
That's absolutely true. And that lies the problem.
So now now we understand what we're cooking with, right?
Right.
So when we say the thinking mind, what we're really saying is something that you have thought of based on what you can see based on either old experiences or your current perspective.
Yes.
With the understanding and the acceptance, and this is why you said if you believe something is true, it's true. Did you say that today or did I?
Well,
what'd you say?
Obvious too. If you believe something true, it's true to you.
Well, it's not. It's obvious because
you.
you're the big kahuna, the old wise one.
That's right.
However, the average person believes that if they believe something is true, it's true for everybody.
That is true.
But we want to open up the door to give you a different perspective so that you can simulate the mind that is not thinking and regurgitating past information. Because if you believe something is true, it is true for you based on your experiences, based on the information that you have.
Absolutely.
However, if you walk around the pole, so to speak, if you change positions, if you get up and look at it from a different perspective, what you once thought was truth, oh my God, it's the truth. You may see that what you thought was true from over there. But now that you got up and you ran around a corner, oh, I see it this way. This is true too. Am I?
No, that's true. Your perception, whatever you believe is true to you.
Great. So when we talk about when we tie this into the magic of words, since we know that whatever you believe is true, whatever Mr. Henderson believes is true, whatever, everybody's right. Right. That's why I always say there's no right or wrong.
Because you in your own world and you create your own universe and you create your own world. All of us create our world that we want to live in, whether you know or not. We all look around and say we're in this world, but really it's all an individual thing. I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example. So one that you guys can really grab on and see. When you look at a football team, they say team, and they go out there with the mindset to win the game. Now think about it. They say there's no I in team. They are one unit, and they must be in sync and in harmony in order to accomplish their goal.
Mm-hmm.
But when you really look deep and dissect it, team is made up of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in this world, we see the world, but really it's made up of individuals and individual thoughts and beliefs and positions and actions and inactions. So let's go back to team, the football team. The football team looks like there's a team.
Okay.
You got it? Light bulb? It's a team.
Okay.
But really, it's a team, but really, it's an individual. It takes individuals to do what they need to do. Okay, let me stay with me, y'all. Don't go. Stay with me. If you look at the football team, 11 starting players, whether offense or defense, if you really look at each of those players came from different upbringings. They could be different shapes and sizes. They can have different paths. They grew up different, some black, some white, some Asian, whatever. They're all different. But together, when they come together in terms of a mindset, they move in harmony to move the ball down the field to get a touchdown.
Mhm.
But it starts individually. And if one of those team members screw up and miss their assignment, what they're supposed to do, block or whatever, it could really damage their goal.
Mhm.
They cannot make a touchdown, or somebody keep getting blown away. They have to replace that. But it is a individual sports. I give you a perfect example. I remember when I first started out. It's over 35 years ago, and I was working for this firm, all Jewish people, and I was only black in there. And this guy really the owner of the firm really took a liking to me, because he looked at me as being a spy. He's like, "Oh my God, Robert, you're sharp." And he took a liking to me. He said, "Listen, I want you to sit right here, and I'm going to explain some things with you." And I remember him saying, Robert, at that time, he said there was 6,000 Jews in the country. 6 million Jews in America. And at the time, I think it was like 30. At that time, it was like 30 million blacks in the country. He said, what's the difference? And I said, yeah, there's 30 million black people in the United States at that time. And I said it was, 6 million Jews. He said, no. Yeah, he says, that's obvious. But the difference is all 6 million of us count. He said, all 30 million of y'all don't count. And I thought about a football team. Who missing their block? He was basically saying all of us get educated. We move in harmony. We network with each other. We're lawyers. We're doctors. Then he went on and said, we control the textile industry, the movie industry, the arts, the science. He said all that. He said, we are all in that. So I thought about that, and I said, wow, they all have an allegiance to improve and be all they could be. And they feel like that is a promise with God. In other words, they're honoring God if you can be all you could be and carry yourself a certain way, and you become prosperous, and you can help your family and your neighbors and all that kind of stuff. So anybody who's not doing that, they look at the ignorant. You follow me? So when I was saying, wow, if we shall overcome, it can never be a we until there first an I.
Mm-hmm.
And Heisey, the reason why the Henderson Financial Group works because Heisey, you focused on what you could do. I focus on what I could do. Together we're a team, and now we shall overcome. It's the same thing with sports. So when you look at, did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So really, and when you look at the world in its totality, I don't care if it's a group of doctors, lawyers, financial planning firm, a football team, basketball team, it's an individual sport, but you come together in harmony to make it work. Does that make sense?
I like it. So many thoughts were going off. Could you feel them as you were talking? Could you feel all my thoughts?
Yeah, your mind, your eyes switching. And
I realized that when I watched the playback. I'm like, I can tell when I'm getting a thought because my eyes go back and forth. So a couple of things. When I was in LA, I went to the Laugh Factory, and I didn't realize that until now, sitting here listening to you, that I was the only Black person in there aside from the host. And I didn't get the memo. I wanted to go see comedy. I bought a ticket and went to see comedy.
Right.
But it was, I don't want to say Jewish night, but it was Jewish night, right? So everybody in there, and they were doing tributes and playing the guitar about Palestine and all these things going on. However, the host of that night is a Black guy who's Jewish.
Wow.
And so he's able to do his jokes and say all this and this and this. And I said, dang, that was the connector, is because he was Jewish. That's why they came out on his night. Other than that, I'm thinking back, I was the only Black person there. So yes, there has to be some commonality. Okay. So let's and it made me realize I probably do need to read up on the whole Palestine thing going on, because they were talking about a lot. So let's go back. So that's one of the things that I was thinking of. I also was thinking about the fact that you said a lot of times, we see things as a team sport, and that it's a group, and there are no I in team. That's a saying, right?
Yeah,
there is no I in team. However, you brought up a great point, as you always do, the Big Kahuna.
That's right.
When you said that everyone on the team comes from different backgrounds.
That's right.
They have different experiences,
different nationalities,
different
upbringings,
different
paths.
They have different whys that brought them to the place of joining the team.
That's right.
Right. And so when they join the team, there is a period of time where they are pulled from their surrounding, pulled from their family. I don't know much about sports, but I believe that they go to training camp. right?
Yes.
In which they're disconnected from their family and they're immersed with the team so that they can one sound, one band, get on one accord, right?
Harmony, right?
Right. And so that's where that teamness comes in. However, during the season or during a game, if one person, one teammate who they one sound, one band, they, different backgrounds, we went through the basic camp or training camp is what it's called, so that we can get on one page. You bonded with your teammates and all this stuff like that. And you're like, we're all on the same page. We have this common goal of XYZ, of winning this game so we can go to the championship and get extra bonuses, whatever, how it works, because we won a championship. If one of the teammates or one of the players has something going on at home, will that affect the team?
Well, it depends on his position and his performance and how much it affects his focus.
If the quarterback,
right,
if the wide receiver
right,
has something going on at home, will that affect the team?
Not necessarily. It depends on your actions,
Mm-hmm.
And where his head is. Some people can leave stuff behind. You can argue with your wife, but now you come to the team.
Mm-hmm.
You focus.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on the mindset of the player.
Great.
But I'll give you what you're basically saying is, and I'll give it with music. In music, I'll be playing the piano, which you was taking and you stopped.
Well,
yeah, she was taking, everybody's taking piano in high school. She got too busy anyway. So if you're playing in the key of G, and we all said we're gonna sing this song in the key of G, and we playing music, and all of a sudden somebody back there singing in the key of A, it's gonna be out of harmony. It's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Look at another way. If you have a bush of weeds.
Oh my gosh, I just literally thought about this yesterday. Oh my God.
Thought about what?
I thought about was like, I see my life as, here's what I said.
But you got to finish the story. You thought about this.
And then here it is. I see my life. I thought about this yesterday because I was like, I cultivated my life into this beautiful garden. And now because I tend to my garden, I know where the rose bushes are. I know what's here. I know where the mulch, I know how my garden looks. When a weed comes in, it doesn't take long for me to spot a weed. And I'm not spray painting the weed. I'm not of the space where I'm like, oh, you're a weed, but I'm gonna spray paint you so that you can fit in, or I'm going to accept you, because if I do, it won't be long before the weeds overtake the flowers.
Right. So is that what I was basically saying? If you have a bushel full of weeds, all of a sudden you see a rose pop up in it, it's odd. It's not in harmony. It looks different. And you're right in terms of Natalie, my wife, she knows all about different flowers and different all that, right? When I look over at the flower bed, they all look like they just pretty colors. She say, I said, well, Natalie, look at that one right there, like a little orange and a little green with it. She said, that's a weed, boy. But it's trying to camouflage and fit in with the rest of the group so it can blend in. But in terms of truth discernment, that's a weed.
And so it is the gardener's responsibility. So this is a different message that's very appropriate for somebody today. It's the gardener's responsibility to understand that this is your garden. Your life is your garden. It is your responsibility to say, oh, this weed is trying to pretend like it's a flower. It's trying to let me get this weed up out of here. Instead of saying, oh, it's a weed. Maybe one day it'll die. Maybe it won't kill my other plants. But you can only do that if you're so in tune with your garden.
Right. You got to understand what you got planting, what you got going on.
Okay.
So today's story, we're talking about the power of words. So the power of words is we take this for granted, or we think it's hocus pocus, but I'm telling you, it is the missing link for a lot of our lives. We don't know what we don't know, what we don't know.
I wanted to quickly go back to the football example that I was giving. Are you okay with that?
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for your time. So as I was stating, if one of the football players has a problem at home, and you brought up a great point, and I said, does that mean it will affect the rest of the team? And you said it depends. So this goes back to the conversation we were having when we were talking about perspective, and it's going to tie into magic words. So there is one football player who could be having problems at home, whatever problems, maybe something with the children or the mother or whatever the case may be. And the way that they see things is, I still must show up and do all that I can do and be the best that I can be with my head in the game for my team, right?
Right.
And then there is another teammate that may be like, listen, I'm having this going on at home. This football stuff has to go on the back burner.
And that happens
right
all the time.
All the time. The difference is now is the football player who says, you know what? I got to show up for my team. Is he right or wrong? Is what he's saying true? Or is the football player who's saying, I got a lot going on right now. I can't show up. I got to miss a game.
It depends on his words and what he's telling himself.
Bingo.
It depends on
I
your
rest my case,
words
Your Honor.
and what you are telling yourself. Because
Exactly.
whatever you tell yourself is
It's true.
true.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
perfect example.
Yeah.
Here's a case where you, especially in basketball, you'll see that one of the players are not playing tonight.
Mhm.
Reason why? Because he has some family issues. And they don't, the media, the team don't let the media know what his family issues are.
Mhm.
It could be death in the family, it could be
Mhm.
going through divorce, but his head not right. So he cannot come on the team because he's going to affect the team,
Mhm.
and he's just out of it. It's blown his mind. His beliefs has overtaken his true self. His weeds have really taken over his garden. He has got to de-weed himself because his words and what his beliefs is have just really put him in the fetal position where he
Mhm.
can't perform
Mhm.
his duty. Now,
Mhm.
from a lot of my family members, they say that I do that all the time. They said that, I don't.
You don't have
express.
emotional intelligence.
What?
You don't have emotional intelligence.
Okay, see that? See, they say that, but no, but I am very good at not letting my weeds overtake me and put me in a fetal position. So let's say something negative can happen to me. I'm not getting ready to think about this. We all have this gift from the Creator. Each and every one of us, we have two thoughts. We can think, oh my God, or we can think it's gonna be okay. Listen, if I'm in a boat and we're in the middle of the ocean and we spring a leak and water now is coming in the little rowboat, and if you over there saying, oh my God, we're gonna die, I'm gonna slap your face and tell you to stop, take off your shirt or take off whatever, and let's patch this hole. See, that's two thoughts. Your thought says, oh, we're gonna die because trauma has happened, negativity that took place, and most people just freak out with that. I don't see that. I see the solution. So each and every one of us, every day, you choose which thought and belief that you're gonna let consume you. You have a choice now, because no one says what you have to do. You are the king and queen of your thoughts. You could say, I just got fired, I should go hang myself. Or you could say, you know what? It must be something better for me to do that the Creator have. Each and every one of us have to deal with that every single day. Go ahead.
You're right.
Of course I'm right.
Yeah. I agree with you largely.
Largely?
Yes, largely.
Okay. I'm glad it's not smallly.
I get you.
Okay.
Largely. And I get where you're going with this. And for the purpose of creating our realities, because that's something else that you said today. And I love that you said that, because I believe that we all create our reality with our words.
It's true.
I just feel like there is just a little small window of observing and processing, right? And so I agree that we should not, oh my gosh, there's a hole in the boat, we're all gonna die, and da, 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 da. I agree that we should patch it up.
But there will be some people in the boat saying that.
But I also agree that we can say, oh shoot, it's a hole in this boat.
I do. We can say that.
No.
Oh, you think I wouldn't even say that?
No, you don't. You don't allow for that. I remember I was over here laughing because of two things. I remember when thinking about Granny, and I was in your office, and I was tearing up a little bit. Do you know what you said to me?
No. What did I say?
Come on, Heisey, we all got to go that way. we all got to go that way. Come on, man. Come on.
She's talking about my mother when she made her transition, August of 2023, and and you said when you tearing up, and I said, come on, Heisey, we all got to go that way.
Correct.
Right.
There's we all have to go that way, but there's also a middle ground. There's a stop before that where you can actually process the experience that's happening, the emotional experience, so that you don't hold on to it.
Right. Right.
Okay. So I
And just what she just saying, you know, all of my children, they said about me, but let me tell you, on the World Wide Web, it's not that I suppress my feelings. I really use what I'm telling you all about now. Your words and your thoughts can really self it could really self-harm you.
I mean, I agree. So using your example with the boat, right? So let's say the boat springs a leak. If we spend too much time, oh my God, we got a leak, we're gonna drown.
Right.
Right? We're gonna sink. I agree. I agree with that 1000%.
Okay.
I'm just putting on the table.
Okay, so my mother, who I adored, who was my first love, my mother meant so much to me. Now I looked at it like this. My mother, I took her all over. I took her to Paris, Italy. I did so much. Everybody said, and she used to say, "Boy, you spoiled me," because I was raised with a single mom, you know. And if I would have, and me and my mom talked about transitioning.
She told me to take care of you, Sue.
Yeah.
You on my watch now.
My mother, we talked about that every twice a week. I would go to the house on Tuesdays and Saturday, and we would put puzzles together and reminisce and talk and laugh and do all the stuff, right? And mother was 85 years old. And like I said, mother was my first love because she taught me nurturing and caring and, you know, how to gave me morals and values. Okay. My mother, if I would have really let my words and my thoughts really succumb me, I would have been in a fetal position, and I could have easily went off into the wilderness and say, forget the Henderson Financial Group. This is not fair, so on, so on, so. But I had to choose this way or that way. So I chose reality. And reality is, to me, is there's nothing I could do about it. And I cannot doubt the creator of the heavens and the earth. And when it was her time to go, the knower of all things, it was her time to go. And by me accepting that and knowing that I had no regrets, that I really gave her, I not only did I bought her cars when she needed, just outright, I took her to new Broadway plays, took her to, I took her to plays in Miami. I took her to plays in New York. I mean, we went to Eiffel Towers. Remember we all? And I paid for it. My mother didn't ever need for nothing. So within myself, I wasn't going to let her passing choke me and kill me inside, because I know I can see her saying, boy, you know, we all got to go this way. It's going to be fine. I could just hear her saying that, the thought. So those are my words. My family look at it as, you know, dad ain't, you know, oh my God, he's still walking around. Oh my God, he ain't in the fetal position. Me being in the fetal position does not help me, does not help the cells in my body. And I don't need it to kill me. I need to be strong in times like this. Okay. So
I agree.
So I use that a great deal.
And you know what? Because you are wiser than I am, and you've lived longer, no question about that. And you've lived longer than I have. You have reached this state of, okay, next, real quick, right? So back to the subject of your power of your words, you're 100% correct. As always, you could never be wrong. That our words, in which the way that we choose to see things, determine our reality.
Yes.
And when I say our reality, a lot of times people make the mistake in thinking and believing and accepting that their current reality is going to be their forever reality. Not understanding that the words that you use today and the choices that you make today will shift your future reality.
Yes.
Are you following me or are you reading?
I was reading Jelani's word. Thank you so much, Jelani. And also Mia. Thank you very much. You do understand. I know y'all understand where I'm coming from. As a Heisey like to say, I understand y'all. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. That's Heisey words. But yeah, so that's why, because think about things and stuff come our way that we cannot control. It's how you handle it. And I think that when you look at the truth, it's the truth. It's like people come to me and say, "Wow, aren't you sick of these gays and all that?" First of all,
You said that on the internet?
yeah,
Go off.
why would I be sick of reality and what's happening?
Mhm.
What no, I just look, I am in this universe and I am
Mhm.
observing. That's it. I'm not here to pass judgment on nobody. I don't care if you are in love with a cow. I'm not getting ready to say you shouldn't be in love with a cow. I'm not gonna say that. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. That's it.
Y'all get married?
Y'all get married. That's it. That is what I can control, and that's my business. What I believe and what I think, and I'm not getting ready to condemn. I'm not going to vote to pass some law because this man want to marry a cow. That's what he want to do. That's his life. That's the reality. I got to learn Spanish and Creole.
Okay, let's tie this in. I love that
Power
take on it.
words.
The
Yes.
power of words. So now that we understand that we all live in different realities, what's true for me can also be true for you. There is no right or wrong or this truth and that truth, right? It just is.
Yes.
Things just are. We oftentimes make the mistake of labeling things good or bad or right or wrong. In reality, right? Reality, when I'm talking about reality, my reality is things just are. Here's the example I always think of. If I'm in traffic or if I'm driving and there's a car that's speeding and tailing me and going around me, and right? You're smiling. Traffic is one of your favorite experiences.
I've come far. I've come a long ways from that.
I have not gotten in the car with you lately, so I cannot attest to that. However, if you say so, then I believe you.
No,
Right?
I'm saying in my 20s, how I used to react with traffic and how I react now.
Oh, I have some fond memories of that. However, right? So if we're in our car, I'm in my individual car and I'm driving and I see this car driving and swerving and, going in, and I have a choice, right? I could say, this idiot, why are they driving like this? Or what some people love to do is when they see people tailing them, they slam on the brakes, right? So the car behind them can have a jerk response, right? I always think about the fact that there could be an emergency in that person's car.
True.
I always think about that because how quickly would you go from calling this person a jerk unless if you found out that there was a woman in labor in their car?
True.
Or someone having a heart attack and they were trying to rush to the hospital, right? In an instant, your strong emotional feelings about how you feel about something would shift. Understand that I'm not talking about traffic. I'm giving you this illustration, but this happens with everything in life.
So rather than someone tailgating you and acting like just speeding like a wild man, you talk to yourself and you had the power to look at it two different ways.
Correct.
And you said, rather than slamming on the brakes and saying this idiot behind me,
Correct.
you said maybe there's an emergency and this person needs to get home. Let me move on to side.
Correct.
And that is the power of your words talking to self.
Correct.
Yes.
And we can do that with everything in life. So
everything.
Your example, I think a minute ago, you talked about being laid off, right?
Right.
So if you're working at this job for 20 years, 15 years, 30 years, it's your dream job, all this stuff, right? And you need this pension and you need the salary, whatever the things y'all say when y'all get fired, right? I've been at this job, right? And they fire me. And you're like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe I got laid off. I need this job. How am I gonna feed my family? And you go and you play the scratch off or whatever lotto y'all play, and you win $100 million. Would you still be upset?
No.
Would you still say, or let's not say the lottery, or it's when you get home, you get a phone call or you check your email and your dream job position that's paying you 50% more than what you were being paid offers you a job and said they want to hire you tomorrow. Would you still be upset and angry? No. What I want you to understand is how quickly your emotions, your feelings can shift. And it's only based on what you see. Remember, your truth, your perspective, and the words that you tell yourself.
Well, see, that's what people get confused because what they see, they think that's true. And
they think that's absolute truth.
And they let it bring them down or bring them up. When you have to be able to know that there are two of you, your two selves, and you have to be able to control what you choose to believe reality really is.
Because when you do that, so I'm giving you these illustrations and these examples, and know that it's not about the job, know that it's not about the car, the traffic. It's about you understanding that you always have the power to use magic words. You always have the power, right? And in instances where you are in this present position where your perception is based on what you can see and experience, you may not be at the place of saying, you know what? This too shall pass. You may not be at the place of saying this is for the best, but at least I want you to get into the place of using your magic words to cast a spell and say, everything is going to work out.
Yes.
Everything is always working out for me. Because when you do that, you neutralize the situation. And neutralizing a situation is very, very important, because oftentimes, instead of neutralizing a situation, human nature is, because you cannot see what's going on, you label the situation with a lower level label, right? You label it bad. You label it horrible. You label it with all these low vibrational words. And when you do that, guess what happens? You align and energetically attract more of that to you.
Well, the reason why we call them magic words is
Mhm.
because when you get to that point where Heisey is talking about saying, when you do say, I'm going to get a better job paying more money,
Mhm.
when you say those words to yourself, there is a magic invisible genie, so to speak.
Mhm.
The forces that you know not of,
Mhm.
that ain't even your business,
Mhm.
to how and when. Forces that you can't see, you don't, that's why they call them magic words,
Mhm.
go into play and says, okay, let's make this happen for her.
Mhm.
Let's make this happen. And things happen. And people, strangers and situations, phone calls
Mhm.
without you, but you gotta understand the power and the magic of your words. Now, a lot of y'all may think this hocus pocus. It is absolutely not. I live by this magic word stuff. We live
Yeah.
by this.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? So what I'm basically saying to you, instead of choosing to be negative, just be neutral, right? If you're not at the place where you're not a positivity princess and you're not there yet, you're not there, like, I can't see it. Just practice with the small things, being very neutral, because when you're neutral, you allow things to happen. Here's what I tell my clients, and I'm going to share a real example that recently happened. What I tell my clients, just as what Mr. Henderson was saying, is your words give command. I use illustrations. I tell them that your entire spirit team, child, your angels, your archangels, your ancestors, the whole tribe, they are sitting there waiting for you to tell them what you need. So if you're like, oh my God, this is awful, they like, give her more awful. If you're like, this is horrible, nothing is ever working out for me, make sure nothing works out for her.
That's
like,
true.
That I paint that visual of your whole tribe sitting there
It-
waiting in a factory to be and do exactly.
If you're
what
single and you say there ain't no good men out there,
Mhm.
guess what your invisible angel substance,
no good men,
you ain't gonna see no good men.
coming right up.
If you a man and you saying they ain't, all the women are trash, they ain't no good,
Yeah.
guess what your magic words are gonna produce? No good women, they all trash.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You gotta pick up what we're putting down.
Mhm.
We're not just saying this, we use this
Mhm.
for prosperity and growth. I'm telling you. And what do you have to lose?
Mhm.
You might as well try something new
Yeah.
and watch it and pay attention to it, because this is your life. It really is.
Let me share a recent example of a recent experience. I don't like to use the word story because it's real, right? So a recent experience. One of my clients, she owns an investment property, and we were having a conversation last month, and she told me that her tenant is always paying late. And I'm like, girl, how long this been going on? What's been going on? I'm like, no, we don't. And so she has a management company, and I was like, you need to have a conversation with the management company and let them know this is unacceptable, and they need to give the tenant. They're on a month-to-month lease. So I said, give the tenant notice that of non-renewal. And so there was a little bit of a conversation of, well, instead of getting the rent late, now I may not get the rent while they move out, right? And I have to get the place ready to rent to a new tenant, right? And that's, in reality, that's what we expect, right? Reality based on experiences that we've seen. Oh, if you give a tenant a notice of non-renewal, they're going to say, okay, good luck getting next month's rent. I'm going to use that next month rent to find a new place. So the owner needed to prepare herself. We were having a conversation of, when do you want to give the notice of non-renewal? How does your money look? And she's like, okay, I'm looking at my numbers. And then, boom, she gives a notice of non-renewal, and she's braced herself for the possibility that the tenant may move out. In my 22 years of being in real estate services, baby, I have never seen this in my whole life, but I love this. I was like, this is magic in real time. The tenant had an attorney friend. Come to find out, the tenant works for an attorney at an attorney's office and wrote a 2-page letter. Basically, the owner of the legal practice says they're willing to go on the lease, not to move in, but to guarantee the rent is paid on time on the first of the month, every month going forward. Right? So the magic in all of this is, number one, we left it open for the possibility for something to happen. Right? We left it open. What we knew is we didn't want to keep getting our rent late. Like, girl, they can't keep playing with you. Like, don't keep getting your rent late. We don't get to sit down and accept that. The problem is, what most people do is when they experience things of discomfort using her situation is we try to have the solution and try to make the solution based on where we are. We could have never seen that solution coming. So we didn't say, oh no, just let them keep paying their rent late because, we may have to deal with this. It was, okay, what do you want? You want your rent paid on time? Yes, you want your rent paid on time. Okay, this is what we have to do. Oftentimes, people, number one, don't know what they want. And then when they do know what they want, they try to be the judge, the jury, and the executor all at one time based on present position. And when you do that, you start saying things and thinking things. This ain't gonna work out. That's never gonna happen. And your words are like, your whole team back there like, never gonna happen.
That's right.
It ain't gonna work out. Send holy hell, like all of this stuff. And you like, why is this happening? Right. You said it was going to happen. However, when you get to the space of, that's why a few moments ago I said, just be neutral, right? Just say, hey, I want to get my rent on the first. I'm going to let them know you're not paying me on time. I want to get my rent on the first. Now, all the rest of this, it's not up to me. I'm going to stay open. And something, like I said, I had never seen where this guy came in and said, hey, I'm going to guarantee it. And she worked for the attorney.
Isn't that something? You talking about magic words.
So when it comes to you and your personal situation, it will really be in your best interest just to try it. Right. Just to try to say, when stuff is moving, when stuff is happening, a phrase that I like to say, 2 phrases. Number one is, it is what it is. And not from some disconnected point of like, I don't care, but it is what it is. Because one of the things that I always tell myself is, oh, I know God got great for me. Right. Like, I know, like, I cannot fail, right? So it is what it is, meaning I'm not getting ready to get caught up in imaginary scenarios about what could happen, what should have happened. Like, that's not even a part of my reality. And another thing that I like to remind myself is, whatever I say yes to, I am sending the message to the universe to send me more of that.
And then you have to, what we're talking about, these magic words, they have to become a habit, because you have to break the old habit of not using magic words, of being doom and gloom, because you have a choice, because you are the thinker to think the thoughts. Remember, you are the thinker to think the thoughts. No one can take that power from using magic words or using negative words from you but yourself. So you don't want to really manipulate your own being and your whole world and your future. And a lot of us are doing that and not knowing it.
Something for you to take away from today's show is, whatever you are experiencing, whatever you are experiencing in your physical manifested 3D reality, hold on to your britches, because you may not want to hear this, but it is a reflection of what is going on inside of you. It is a reflection of the thoughts that you consistently think. It is a reflection of your dominant beliefs. So whatever you're experiencing on the outside, it is a reflection of what you truly believe on the inside. There is no need in you saying, I believe this, I believe that, because your external circumstances will always tell the tale.
That's right. That's right.
Every time.
Every time. What you do, what you say, speaks so loud, we can't hear what you're saying.
What you do speaks so loud.
That's right. What you do, I mean, you could say, I'm going to but we don't see no results. I mean, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. You've been saying that for 10 years. But really? So your words are very, very powerful. You have to follow by action. You really have to believe. You can't play with this thing. Listen, what we're talking about is so profound and so effective. that you can't play with it.
Yeah.
And when you want more, because there's always more for each and every one of us. There's
Mhm.
unlimitless. But you
Mhm.
got to believe it and got to know it. You know, when I was coming up, and we didn't have much. My mom was a custodian at the high school. Father was drunk in Chicago. 2 older sisters. I mean, you know, we made do. But I always looked around and said that, you know, I want to go snow skiing. I want to go to Paris.
Mhm.
I want to have a convertible Porsche. Matter of fact, I ain't had to pay for the Porsche. Somebody gave me a
Mhm.
brand new Porsche. You know something?
Mhm.
I said, I always like Porsche convertible. And a client, this years ago, says, Henderson, you so good. What do you want? Convertible Porsche? Here it is. I'm like, wow. I said that a long time ago. I'm telling you, your words and your beliefs
Mhm.
are more powerful than you can ever imagine. People are looking for things and stuff and degrees and diplomas and all that kind of stuff. When the creator of the heavens and the earth have given you so much treasure within, we just haven't been taught how to use it. Now, I'm gonna tell you who uses this. A lot of prosperous, wealthy people use what we're telling you. They don't even broadcast it. They don't say it. They keep it to themselves. A lot of them, they don't talk about it. It's not on the nightly news. It's not fashionable. They look at it as private and almost like a worship thing. And they actually use all of this stuff. They really, really do. It's all self-talk. It's all self-beliefs followed by action. Now, you can't just say, I'm going to do this and believe that and not follow by action. There's always something you have to do. You have to have the agreement with yourself. Your thoughts, your belief, and your actions, they have to agree. You can't have good thoughts without having good actions.
Yeah, you gotta
Because then
take
you
action.
can't pimp the universe.
Yeah.
You can't be like, hey, do me. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, I'm the pimp. Universe, hey, bring me what I want. No, you can't do that. You have to say what you want, believe what you want, and do the things that you have to do in order to achieve them. You have to do it. You can't lay in bed and say, job, find me, job. No, you gotta be equipped. It takes, you take one step, the universe will take 2 steps. I promise you.
I love that when you shared your experience with the client gifting you the Porsche, I realized that that's the appropriate word to say it. Porsche. The Porsche. I just learned that. I still say Porsche. But anyway, the client gifted you the car, right? You had said that years ago.
Yes.
That itself is magic. Don't miss that. He said that years ago. He didn't change his mind to be like, nah, I want this, I want that. A lot of times we have these ideals and desires for what we want. However, because we don't instantly see it in the physical 3D reality, we believe that it's not working, that we're not going to get it. And so understand that this is why I say the dominant thoughts, your dominant feelings. What is your dominant state of being? What is the vibration that you're holding? Are you primarily positive? Are you primarily focused on your focus? Do you have a goal in mind? We talked about goals before, that this is what I'm tracking towards, right? So that means if I set the goal of XYZ to reach $1 million, and tomorrow I get up and I think positive, like Mr. Henderson and Hyacinth said, and I'm neutral and I take action and I don't have the $1 million in my account, does that mean it's not working? No, it doesn't mean it's not working. It means you must still continue to take action, because guess what? Everything is in motion. I always tell people that sometimes you will get manifestations that come very quickly into 3D, and sometimes there are so many things that need to shift in the spiritual world and behind the scenes. Remember, that's why it's important for you to imagine your whole team back there working, like they in the kitchen, they chefing it up. They're like, okay, move this, send her this client, move this, let this client who's at this big firm, let them have a falling out, then let them go to a party. They go to this party and then they mention the Henderson Financial Group, then let them call. Like, all of this needs to happen. So by the time you get here and you're like, oh wait, I've been looking for y'all forever, and boom, there it is.
To back up what Hyacinth is saying, to give you an example, what she's saying with her words, take a look at the life of a farmer.
Yeah.
Plant the seeds.
Yeah.
You don't see what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm planting these seeds today and the same day I'm also get harvest. No, you just plant the seed.
Yeah.
And trust me, each and every one of us, each day, we're either planting a seed for a harvest to come up, not today, tomorrow, next week, next year, or we're not planting.
That's right. And if you ain't planting,
Don't expect
5 years, 10 years,
That-
12 months, like you hungry today because you ain't what you planted, what you put in the ground yesterday,
yeah.
what you
Yeah.
put in the ground last year.
When I planted, listen,
Yeah.
and 19, I was working at CBS Channel 4 as a graphic artist. I remember it was 1983,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working there, and I seen a convertible Porsche, and I said, "Whoa, 1983!"
Mm-hmm.
The universe didn't bring that brand new Porsche out of the showroom,
Mhm.
convertible,
2000. Right?
until it was December 2019,
1999.
1999.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was December 1999.
Yeah.
That was from 1983. I remember saying, "Oh my God, look at that thing! Look at that sleek! Look
Mhm.
at that thing!" Now I could have bought one myself, but I
Mhm.
didn't. I just, I didn't think nothing about it. You know what I mean? I was too busy planting other seeds. And then from 83 to 1999, bam! Somebody called me and said, "Rob, that convertible Porsche is in the showroom. It tax tag and everything is paid. All you gotta do is go in there and drive it out."
Come pick it up. Pick that
Come pick
baby
it
up.
That's all. And I listen. I had forgot how to drive a stick, but I was going a stick shift. But
Oh,
I was
learn
going to drive
today.
that. Boy, I pulled people when I came in that show. People looking at me like, "Who is he?"
Right.
And they open that. They pull the glass back, and I put that top down, and boom. So the point is, look at the time frame that had went by. So when you plant seeds, and like I said, what seed have you planted today? Have you
Yeah.
planted anything?
And when you plant them, are you digging it up? You like, oh, I planted that, but forget that. Like, what are you
Yes.
doing? Like, oh, it
Yes.
ain't come yet. So maybe then Mia says we must be patient. Yes, and right. So Mia, I know you've been tuned in for quite some time watching our show. So I know that you are advanced level. Yes, we must be patient. However, we must be patient and know. Like, I ain't patiently waiting. Like this, I said it, I'm gonna get it. That's it. Now that I know that I'm going to get it, I can go now on my day-to-day activities, tend to the things that I need to do. All I need to do is be the best that I can be in this moment right now. I'm not patiently waiting. Oh my God, it's coming. Maybe it took 12 years for them. It's going to take 8 years for me. Nah, baby.
It's gonna come right on time.
It's coming on time. In the meantime and in between time, I know that it's coming. I'm not wavering in my desire. And a lot of times when I talk about wavering in desires, we allow other people to tell us what's real and what's reality and what's possible, right? So that causes you to waver in your desire. You said you wanted this, but because they're saying there's the dating market is trash, then you like, oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I gotta keep messing around with my sugar daddy because I can't never get a husband. Like maybe I gotta do it. Maybe it's impossible. All the like, no, I know what I want. Since I know what I want, I have to do everything that I need to do in this moment and silence out all the other noise of other people talking because I ain't got nothing to do with me.
And don't get in the way of your blessings.
Yeah.
When the universe got something for, don't try to
Yeah.
play God. Don't get in the way. Don't
Yeah.
you try to make it.
Yeah.
In other words, if you plant that seed like a farmer, and 2 days later, if it hasn't sprouted and came up, don't just start digging it up. Some people dig up the seed to see how much it's grown.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to set it and let it go, man. Because once you do your part, that's it.
Yeah.
It's nothing else required of you. Your words are very powerful
Yeah.
and important. We at the Henderson Financial Group, we use them. That's why when we bring on a client, when the client start working with us, we say, no, don't be coming here with this negative stuff. You gotta believe, because we need help dealing with you, and we can't do this on our own. We need the invisible source. We do need it, and we rely on it all the time. We rely on it to get up in the morning and go to work. We rely on it to go to bed and wake up. We rely on that because none of us make our heart beat. So we believe we're going to wake up the next morning, and we believe that we're going to be the best, and we believe that we're going to continue to learn and grow and change and advance and expand. And do you know, every day, every year, we grow and we expand. We don't even know how much. Listen, it's 2024 right now. We know in 2025, we're going to be more, better, more advanced, and have more stuff for y'all, more strategy. Do we know right now what it's going to be in 2025? It ain't our business. Our business is to know and to keep on planning and being expanding, and it's going to show up. It's going to tell us exactly, Robert Heisey, I want you to go to this conference. because there's somebody you're going to meet that's going to help you on the way. It happens all the time. I just came from a conference and I'm bringing back to the team. Oh my God, it's another strategy. I thought this was, oh my God, it is this now. And it's going to help team. I didn't even know that before I just came back from the conference. But every time I make a step like that, it makes 2 steps. And it's in your life too. But you got to believe and you got to work it.
Yeah.
You can have all that you want to have.
Yeah. Like that's a full stop sentence. You can have everything you desire, period. Full stop.
Yes.
Full stop. No but, no this, like full stop.
What are you telling yourself?
Exactly.
The power of your words.
Exactly.
Because let me tell you something. Your thoughts sends out to the invisible universe.
Yeah.
Whether to shape and create the path for you or shut it down, a roadblock. I'm telling y'all, we're not lying. We're not just saying this to say this. You gotta try it. We love you just that much to try it. When we see it in our lives, we want to tell you, we want to come back and share it with you. But you gotta believe it. You can't have that fear and doubt. Most of the time, all the time, when you get afraid and shaking in your boots about something that has happened, it's always because of lack. You don't believe you can get more or better. If you got fired from your job, the only reason why you pitiful and in a fetal position, because you don't believe that you're going to get no more money. You don't believe that you're going to have better. And guess what? You can believe whatever you want to believe. Whatever you believe is true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if I got the choice to believe whatever I believe is going to be true, by golly, I'm being positive. I'm going to say, I'm going to get up something better. And that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, I love this. I love this so much. It's literally how I live my life, how I support myself, my children, like my clients. Hey, if not me, then who, baby? If not me, then who? Right? No, but seriously, right? So something that I wanted to add to this profound message that you're sharing, Mr. Henderson, is there may be a space, because we recognize that this can be new for you, right? A lot of people, can be. For most people,
bad habits.
It can be new because the media, your family, society does a wonderful job suppressing you to make you think that you're regular, right? And to make you think that this job that you're working at is the only source of income. Here's the thing that I love to tell people. That's why I love when I have clients who are people of faith, whatever you believe in, long as you believe in some higher power, I always be like, do you really think that's all the higher power has for you? Like, do you really think that? And so you have to also remind yourself that the job that you've been working at for 20 years is not the source. It's not. It's just one of the conduits that the money is flowing through. Your husband is not the source. Your friends are not the source. So when things happen in your life where things shift and you shift from different people and different experiences, and you want to get in that fetal position, as Mr. Henderson says, I'm going to tell you that you have your moment to process through your emotions. After you process through your emotions, the emotional experience.
Just don't let it take you out.
Don't let it take you out, but process through them. Don't sweep them under the rug, right? Journal. After you do that, then remind yourself they are not the source. Am I giving this person so much power over my life existence, over everything that could be available for me for the next 50, 60, 70 years? Am I giving them so much power that I believe in them more than I believe in the source? And when you sit down and think about it, then you shift into having a knowing like, okay, well, I loved you. I love this job. I love this car. I loved all of this, but there's more. You ain't the source. You are not. No human is the source. The source is always higher. And here's the thing. Source is unlimited.
Yes.
It's unlimited. There is no shortage of nothing.
I gotta turn you off because you're going to keep talking, man.
I was going to say, you start rubbing that leg. I feel your energy. Like, I got to go.
I got an appointment.
I got to go.
Right. Because you just like an ever-ready battery. See, we had to make a choice because I wanted to talk about the power of your words, or we want to talk about, what was the other subject I said?
Gratitude, the power of gratitude.
The power of gratitude. That is profound. So, next Wednesday, let's pick up on the power of gratitude, giving thanks for where you are right now, because that is reality.
That's how you maximize the perfect present moment.
Yes.
If you're just like grateful, like don't even be caught up in, once you set it and forget it, your desire, I desire this. I know the source is going to give it to me. You set it and forget it. All you got to do in the perfect present moment is be grateful for where you are.
So next week, same time, same station, same YouTube.
Same time, same place.
That's right. We're going to talk about the power of gratitude. Deep. settle, man. Just say,
Do you want to
okay, it
read
is.
Jelani's comment before we go?
Where is it?
Right here. Let me get the mouse there for you.
Dad, your daughter is very beautiful and super
Aw.
smart, highly intelligent. Thank you, Jay.
Aw.
Thank you. You took a lot of work in making that happen.
What?
All
Okay.
right, okay. All right.
All right. Awesome. Amen, Brother Rob. Manifesting, great message. We must be patient. I agree. While being patient, you must take action. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Preach. Love this. Thank you, T.
All right.
All right. Until next time, Saturday. Will you be live Saturday doing the show?
Yes, I'll be live Saturday. James C and myself will be live at 9 a.m. Saturday.
And the AM. Until next time, y'all be good.
Peace.
And I was going to say something else.
We gotta go.
We
We gotta go.
You are worthy because you're worthy. Remember that.
Yes.
All right.
Gotta
Peace.
go.